Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to the Scrutiny Talk. Usango University will be holding elections under the council, which is the Student Representative Council, SRC. And I'm joined by the two candidate aspirants for PRO and Secretary General. And now on my this side I have Mr. Nev-Mud, and who is standing as the Secretary General for SRC. And for PRO office, we have Ernest Mikisa at the side. Now, welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll start with Mr. Nev-Mud. As a Secretary General, how will you make sure that there's accountability in the council and for the betterment of the students?
Thank you, Daniel. First of all, allow me maybe to mention a bit of the duties of a Secretary General. When talk of a Secretary General is someone who is an administrator in the SRC Council. Okay. So, when we talk of accountability for the Council, what I mean is that the SRC, it has its own executive, and the executive, it has its own plans. Now, these plans that we make, there is issue of finances which is involved in. Now, among these issue of finances which is involved in, I'll make sure that the money which will be spent, because this money is the money for the students, so the money should be spent accordingly to the plans that will be made as the executive. Okay. And we have to hear the views of the people. We do what the people wants. So this is what I say. They will be accountable. Where possible, I'll even involve the auditing of the financial records, to allow people from outside to audit how the finances are moving.
So, it seems you'll be working hand in hand with the Vice President, because you'll be more involved with the projects of the SRC. Yes, based on whether inside the SRC Council or outside, for the betterment of the students. So since you guys will be representing the students, so how are you planning to be dealing with projects? Is there any method you can follow on the projects, and just to be in line with what the president and the council has suggested? So what's your take on that one?
When you talk of the projects as for the SRC, I think from the time I came in 2018, a lot of presidents have promised us that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. As a result, what we see is that they all fail to do those things. Okay. What is the problem? The problem is not about maybe the poor planning, or maybe the president has failed to do. It's about the failure of the Secretary General, because they don't consider things that matters most. Okay. So when I'm given a chance as the Secretary General for Usango University, I'll make sure that we go in the projects that will be lucrative in terms of profit, things that will make profit. When the president say, I'm going to buy a bus, how am I going to buy a bus? So this is what I'm saying. I'll make sure that I'll ensure everyone is involved in brainstorming. When I say brainstorming, which means I'll hear ideas from people. Okay. We come with things, with projects that will make profit for the for the organization. Than us depending just on students. When they register for the quota, we get that money, and we use that money without
for something else, which is beyond the vision.
Okay. So we have to. I'll make sure that the money which will be generated, at least we make profit from that money, so that whatever we are going to plan, even after us, that money should remain there, so that people can use that money.
Okay. Now, in terms of projects, it's each department will come with its own project. So, and it differs with needs. Don't you think there'll be, how you'll be handling, let's say, the needs? They say, okay, this department has said, no, we're supposed to have this department needs more money than that one, than that. So, how are you going to be, is there any sort of equality in terms of allocating money as a budget, since you are the Secretary General? So, are you going to put in measures to say, okay, I will make sure that, okay, this PRO department is given this amount of money, this one, are you going to give according to the needs, or are you going to give in terms of, okay, as long as a department, then you're going to give this money to them?
Of course, the plans will come from different departments.
Okay.
But what you have to know is that when plans are there, it's not that you can implement all the plans which are there. So we'll scrutinize the plan and see the plans which will benefit us. And on the issue of equality, this time, once I'm given this opportunity as a Secretary General, each and every student will be treated equally.
Okay.
There must be equity among the students. There must be no segregation to say, no, because I'm from this department, so I should maybe base much of my the plans or much of the budget. I'll consider the environmental health because I'm from that department. No.
Okay.
I will see things that will matter most to say, which one should we do first?
So all the departments, let's say in school, according to their majors, will be catered for, as long as you're in power?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as I'm given this opportunity, I'll make sure that, there are some departments at this school, like those who are doing what, is it social work?
Yeah.
They also have their own plans. But if you look at them, maybe in these previous executives, they are not even considered. Okay. So this is why I'm saying that there must be equality. We are all students. They also contribute. They contribute to the SRC, so they have to be considered as well. There must be equity. Okay, for example, Daniel, we say that environmental health, because I'm from environmental health, they have plans to say no. We want to make a party. Just a party, a normal party to say no, we want to celebrate. So we ask money from SRC. In the other department, they've got a program which is serious. Not just a celebration. They've got a serious problem. Should I go for environmental because I'm from environmental health? No. Certainly not. So I'll consider everyone equally as long as I'm given this opportunity.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Mwemba. And coming to Mr. Mwikisa, under the PRO office, like what will be your main role in that one?
Yeah, thank you.
As a way of helping the students at Rusango University under the SRC.
Thank you so much, Brother Daniel, for the good question. So, one of the things that I'm going to consider as a public relation officer, I want to make sure that, because I know and I understand to say students at Rusango University have been disappointed for some time now. From the time I came here, we have heard so many public relations officer promising students, say once they're elected in, they are going to introduce suggestion boxes. But up to now, I've been at this school for about close to 4 years now. But
so how prominent are the suggestion boxes, like as for the students? Maybe you'd like to elaborate, like explain how students will be should be very much concerned about suggestion boxes.
Okay, thank you.
Now that they went to be implemented in the past.
Okay, thank you. So as we speak now, first of all, we first have to understand that we don't have any suggestion box at Rusango University. So a suggestion box will give an opportunity to the students to submit what their complaints is. Their complaints will be put in that suggestion box. Whatever they want to understand, whatever they want from the administration or from the SRC itself, they will be able to write and submit, put in the suggestion box. Then we now, as SRC, specifically as a public relation officer, I'll be able to collect what students have submitted in those boxes and submit to my committee. Then from there, we submit to the administration. And let me put it clear on that one to say, we are not only going to submit to get from the suggestion boxes and take to the administration that this is what they have said. No, we must be there also to talk and convince the administration that this is what students want here at this university.
Us on the streets of Rusango, we're happy actually about one of your points of saying you are going to provide an non-interrupted communication. So how well are you trying to put that across? Like, are you trying to put that in place? How are you going to manage communication which won't be interrupted around campus, like communication-wise? How are you planning to deal with communication?
Okay, thank you so much. It is also important for you, Daniel, my brother, to note that, in fact, what we are lacking, it is the matter of communication. That is the reason why some of the things we are failing to achieve them. Because where there is no communication, probably there is nothing that can happen. So as the incoming PRO, if at all Rusangi University students can give me an opportunity to serve them as the public relations officer, I'm assuring you and assuring them at large to say I'll be able to move hostel by hostel every Friday. I'll be able to move hostel by every week, or let me just put it that every week I'll be able to move from hostel to hostel to hear their views, to understand from their cries. And not only that, I have been at this school for some time, so I have gone through all the hostels and I know their challenges, right? So meaning that I'll have an opportunity to go and interact with them on those challenges that I've seen. So the problem that we had in the past is that the people we have been putting in, for me, I believe they didn't do a lot in terms of interacting with their voters. Yeah, so I noted in the past that once someone is voted in, they tend to forget the people who voted them in. So as for me, as I've said, I'll make sure that communication with my students will be complete. I'll be able to move from hostel to hostel. Not only that, but I'll be able to interact even in so many events. I'll make sure that I'm in that area to hear what my students want.
Now, the interesting part about that is that you'll be moving from hostel to hostel, which is very much efficient. But now that we have coronavirus, there are a lot of students who are doing e-learning and they are from outside the campus. So how are you trying to reach out information to them?
Wow, that is very easy. Nowadays we have got, what we call modern world. So we shall definitely, and not only forming, but we have got already WhatsApp groups for SRC. But not only that, as soon as I'm just elected in, I'll make sure that I'll come up with a WhatsApp group. In that group, all the students, including those in campus and those who are at home, they'll be able to interact with me. So that group will be specifically for students and the PRO, because what I don't want is to interrupt communication with the students. So that group will be formed. So those who are at home, they will be catered for in that group.
Now, there has been a cry by the students in the past. They're saying most of the PRO officers, public relations officers, were biased in terms of choosing which people should represent a school in public events. Let's say Youth Day, Farmers Day, like when they go outside, let's say there's an event and then big celebration is in town. So even in sports event, to select people who will be supporting maybe the team or maybe the debate club and everything. So that selection is done under the PR office, and you find that those guys were just maybe focusing on just friends and other departments. Other people were left out. So how are you planning to make sure that everyone is on board?
Wow, I agree with those complaints first of all, because I've also witnessed such kind of things. But I can assure you that NSTMX is not going to be biased in terms of selecting people who should represent the school in various events. So my office will make sure that we are going to pick people not based on friendship. No, we are going to pick people according to the departments. We are going to choose on this particular event, we shall select people from a different department, and in fact we shall give an opportunity to each department to select the people of their choice. So I'm not going to be the one to point to say, no, you go and represent the school to this event, you go and represent. No, I'll give an opportunity to each and every department to make sure that they choose the people of their choice in that department using their leaders, because you should also understand that each and every department, it has got departmental leaders. So the incoming PRO, if at all Rusangi University colleagues, friends give me an opportunity, I'll make sure that we give equal chances, equal opportunities for all.
Now that the elections are around the corner, probably next week, people will be voting members of the SRC. Mr. Mwemba Mungo, what will be your encouragement? What will be your take in motivating those students so that they can support you in the upcoming elections? Just look into the camera and talk to your people.
Thank you so much, Brother Daniel. My message to the students who are supporting me is that you can trust that whatever member has said, he will really do it. I have the confidence, I have that zeal to say, I have to do. I'm a man of his words, and I'm going to do, because I believe that whatever I say, I'll really do it.
And the same question goes to, not really a question, but just to sum up the show, Mr. Mwikisa, you can really look into the camera and just talk to your people and just motivate them and make them realize that, okay, you are the right choice, you are the right person for the PRO office, and as we close the show.
So thank you so much, Brother Daniel. So my message to my fellow students is that please give me your vote. I believe that I can actually bring the change that we've been waiting for as students at Rusangi University. I have that in my heart. I have that. I believe that I can really bring change. As many people call me to say I am a person without fear in his DNA. So I believe that I'm going to deliver. Please give me your vote.
Well, Mr. Mwikisa, thank you very much for being on the show, and Mr. Mwemba, thank you for joining us on the Scrutiny Talk.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
So there you have it, dear viewers. On the show we had Mr. Ernest Mwikisa and Mwemba Mungo, who are contesting for SRC elections. So Mr. Mwemba Mungo will be contesting for Secretary General, and Mr. Ernest Mwikisa will be contesting for PRO. They need your vote. This has been a Scrutiny Talk. I'm your host, Daniel Mwene. Till next time, now it's bye-bye.